Hulk Hogan. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name when I was doing commentary on Rygar before. Uh, like I think I mentioned, I'm watching the show, the Incredible Hulk show from the 90s, or from the 70s rather, and yeah, they added that to Netflix, which is awesome. All I'm missing now is the Tokusatsu Spider-Man live-action show from Japan. I've always wanted to see that, and I could never find like a definitive copy of it anywhere on like DVD or anything like that. I really want that. It's like Ultraman style, but it's Spider-Man. I don't know how the production company involved in that was able to pull the rights to Spider-Man and then do that with it. I guess Marvel was cool with that or something. But you know, nonetheless, I'd really like to see that. But yeah, just to illustrate how non-sports guy I am, I couldn't even remember the name of Hulk Hogan. And to uh, address something else that came up in the previous stream here, uh, my second favorite reality TV show is Iron Chef Japan. That is a great show, and it completely disgusts me. They'll use like every ingredient of every animal that comes through the door. Uh, you know, pig brain ice cream. Sure, why not? We'll make some pig brain ice cream. Of course, why wouldn't we? It's Iron Chef Japan. This here is Exerion. I've streamed this on the show before. This is a great game. One thing that I should tell you before we put the spaghetti in the machine here is the controls are incredibly based on momentum. You would think, oh, you press a direction and you go in that direction. No, no. You press a direction and you accelerate in that direction, but it maintains the momentum that you've accumulated from all previous inputs. So it's largely based on momentum, and it is a nightmare to control. But you just kind of have to sway around, kind of do like figure eights a lot of the time. Like you just kind of have to keep moving. So that's kind of how this one works. The credit feed a bit. Yeah, this is a very difficult to control game. I know I was just talking about Crazy Climber, how that has difficult controls, and I stand by that. And I'm not saying that this is harder or even equal in difficulty as far as controls go, but this definitely is a contender for a game, an arcade game from the 80s with very bad controls. But I got to tell you, it's beautiful to look at. It has some amazing parallax scrolling for 1983. Wait till you see this thing. It's nuts. Like when you start the game, it blows your mind. Check that out. That looks awesome, right? Look at that parallax scrolling. It's a thing of beauty. Another thing is we have these like bad shots which kind of come out two at a time like that. The reason they're bad is because they're so slow. And then you got these good shots, these rapid fire shots like this. Which are great, and they work a lot better, but they're very limited. You don't have a lot of them. You can build them back up by killing guys, but that is a very slow process. So you want to kind of save the rapid fire shots for when you need them the most, which is pretty much all the time, to be honest with you. You pretty much need them the most all the time. Ah, God. The momentum is what kills you. This isn't like Galaga, where it's like 1-to-1. No, no, no. This is all about momentum, and it sucks. It's a beautiful game to look at, but it's a very difficult game to play. Again, this is like Crazy Climber, though. This is one that you can't really know what it's like until you play it yourself. I wouldn't say that the controls are bad, though. See, that's where this and Crazy Climber differ. Crazy Climber has straight up bad controls. The controls in this aren't bad, they're just difficult. They're difficult to contend with. But this is one of these games, though, like where you find your zone, and you can go for like 5 minutes without getting hit once. It's like Galaga in that regard, though. Whereas like, or not Galaga, Gradius. You know, like when you get really super powered up in Gradius, and but then you die, and then you lose all your power-ups, and there's like no way to get back to where you were. That's kind of how this feels. Not that you get powered up in this game, but that it's really hard to get back on your feet, like psychologically, after like surviving for like 5 minutes. And then you're back to, you know, wasting lives left and right. Jalico. So when it comes to retro arcade games, this is kind of my favorite genre. I really like shooters. They just released Ajax on Arcade Archives. So I'm super excited about that. I have not bought it yet, but I plan on buying it very soon. Unless something, unless it's surrounded by releases that are better. Because I don't buy every arcade archive game to come out. If Ajax is surrounded by better games chronologically, then I probably will not end up getting Ajax. But I sincerely doubt that because Ajax is so awesome. And these guys shoot enterprises at me, so I gotta be careful about that. Ah! Come on, I totally shot that guy. Game over. I usually do better than that. That's NGC. Yeah, I normally do better than that, as you can see on my top 5 list there. Just waste all my good bullets right out of the bat. I don't care. Don't care, dude. Throw caution to the wind. That parallax scrolling is something beautiful, though. Plus, you want to save some bullets for the bonus stages, because if you have at least one bullet, like in your charge count, then you have infinite bullets in the bonus stages. If you don't bring your charge ammo into the bonus stages, you're gonna be useless in it, you know? You gotta have at least one, and then you have infinite during the bonus stages. So you want to be careful to at least have a few when you finish up a stage. Coming back around. Yeah. Not doing too bad right now. Ah. Get back here. The graphics are really nice in this game. I like the way that these enemies here kind of topsy-turvy around. It's animated very well. Ah, kind of jumpy here. Yeah, it's animated beautifully. This is a really nice looking game. I like fighting against these guys. Nice. Ah. Alright. Alright, now we go into the bonus challenge with charge ammo, which is completely necessary. If you try doing this with the other shot, it'd be more of a joke than this is right now. You can hit some of these letters too, I don't know if that does anything. Easter Island heads. What is it with shooters from the 80s and Easter Island heads? That's weird, right? What is that? Like, what's that about? It's strange. Shooters from the 80s and 90s. Easter Island heads. I know I've seen it in a few. I know Gradius had it. I think Chowaniki had it. I'm pretty sure a few others had it. It's very strange. I was doing pretty good there for a while. See, after losing like that, after doing so well for such a long time, you get kind of beaten psychologically. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to pick it back up again here. I think that was probably the end of my good run. Ah! Too close. These guys are kind of hard to read. Ah. A very Scramble-looking city landscape below me. Looks just like Scramble. That was a quick life wasted. Ah! Oh my god. Oh. See what I mean? It's like you have a good stretch, and then you just lose over and over again. These ships that they're shooting at me now look like the Scramble ships, too. See that? Totally Scramble. So many of them. No! Man, I was hoping I had at least one more life left. That was a pretty good run. Yeah, I beat my old high score. Awesome. Normal. Game. Couch. Wonder if I made it higher up on the list. Let's see here. That's this one, I believe. And again, this is before they started... Well, okay, well, we don't have the flags, but we have the JP, so we can kind of skip down to any that say US or whatever it would say. It's a lot easier to look for the flag, but... Retro Boy, 42. Payton, alright, number 87. Awesome. Not bad. That's a pretty good high score there. Kind of makes me wonder, I'm not saying that's not a legit high score, but 9999, I mean, seems like maybe the game glitched and that guy got lucky. I'd like to see the replay on that. To confirm it. Like, I believe that is possible, but, that's quite a score. A bunch of 9s. I am willing to admit that some people are better at this game than me. I mean, I'm not, 86 people apparently are better than me, and that's fine. It's just, this is a hard game, and I can't imagine someone doing that good at it. So dangerous. But yeah, as of right now, Arcade Archives on the Japanese PSN store is the best way to get your retro fix on the PS4. I wish there were more options, but there's really not, dude. I mean, I think they're coming out with, like, Metal Slug 3 and stuff in the States, and that's cool. Like, that's a step in the right direction, but what I really want is an on-disc retail compilation. I mean, last gen, those were a dime a dozen, dude. The best was, I flew right into that one. The best was the Genesis one, and Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, or in Europe it was Sonic's Ultimate Mega Drive Collection. And Midway Arcade Origins was really good too. And then the generation before that we had Midway Arcade Treasures. They came out with 3 of those. And then of course, you always got the Namco and the Konami stuff, and I think I said earlier Data East had a compilation. I still want that stuff. Like, I still want that stuff to be released. And then of course, you had Game Room, which I totally bought into. And Capcom had like a Game Room-like service as well. I bought into that as well. Not as hard as I bought into Game Room, but I definitely bought into it. I tell you, I was all about Game Room. I played Game Room like every day for like 2 years. I was all about it. And that was like the most broken piece of software I've ever seen. But I was all about it, dude. So, what I'm saying here is I put my money where my mouth is. I know a lot of people that claim to be retro gamers. In fact, the person that even introduced me to Game Room in the first place. They came over to my house one time and they're like, dude, man, they got this thing coming out on Xbox 360 called Game Room. It's going to have like thousands of old arcade games and everything. I was like, cool, man, that sounds good. And I hadn't heard about it until he told me about it. So he was like all on board with this thing. So like Game Room came out, and I spend a lot of money buying Game Room games, right? And I have this guy on my friends list and everything, and I'm like trying to visit his arcade and stuff. And he never bought into it. He never bought a single arcade game on Game Room. So I'm like, dude, we could go to each other's arcades and like demo each other's games and stuff. And that was the whole selling point, and that's what he presented me with, and he sold me on it. And it was basically because of him that I got into Game Room as hard as I did. So I was a little upset, like, you brought this thing to me, convinced me that it'd be a fun thing to do together, and I'm the only one doing it. So yeah, that was a little upsetting. But, whatever, man. I had fun with it anyway. And I met new people doing it, Like, I sought other people into it on the internet. Yeah, see, I don't have any charge shots anymore, so this isn't going to go well. But, I found, like, a circle of people to engage with in Game Room. It's just a bit upsetting when the dude that, like, sells me on the idea doesn't even participate with me. Felt like I was on that hill waving that flag all by myself, you know what I mean? Ah! Oh, come on. I had a couple good moments there. One of those runs was pretty good. Normal game couch. Oh, I can't go over off the side. Okay. Alright, man. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and call that the stream. That was the Hamster Cage. Started off with Butasan, then Rygar, then Crazy Climber, then Exerion. These are all going to be uploaded to YouTube, just like usual. And this is something I'm going to keep doing. I don't know how often I'm going to do them. I just kind of do them when I feel like doing them. But the Hamster Cage. Check out, if you got a Japanese PlayStation Network account, check them out, man. It's a lot of fun. They recently acquired the right to distribute Konami games, so, we're seeing Mr. Goemon and Ajax and Gradius and stuff like that. So that's awesome. That's a huge boon for them. Although Game Room had Konami games too, and we all know how that turned out. So cross your fingers. Hopefully this will be a thing that lasts a while. I'd like to see it last a while. I'm all about retro games. I'm all about classic games. So I'm all about this, man. So let's keep them coming, and hopefully we'll get a compilation, like a proper retro compilation, on disc one of these days. And when that happens, I got to tell you, that's all she wrote. I'll be doing that hardcore. It's probably start like a retro series or something if that ever happens. So anyway, I've been your host, Payton. Thanks for checking out Normal Game Couch. Thanks for checking out the Hamster Cage. Thanks for checking out Butasan, Rygar, Crazy Climber, and Exerion. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.